You should use a condom before you listen.
The American dream is dead.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett, Beaver Kool-Aid.
You guys still remember me, right?
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm L.A. Lloyd.
What am I doing here? We haven't had a podcast in so long. I have trouble remembering when was the last time we got together.
It's been a while.
Lloyd, you still have a little hair?
Yeah, a little bit. I still got one growing on my mole.
I still got one on the back of my tongue I've been trying to get rid of since I was 22.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I texted my sister tonight that I pulled 3 hairs out of my left nostril.
Wow.
First time in my life.
Were they gray?
They weren't gray. They were just there.
Yeah, I know. But see, now you got to get the little nose hair trimmer, man. You can't start jerking those things out.
Brutal. This whole aging thing is starting to really, really suck. It's little things.
It is the little things.
You know?
Well, the hair in the nostril thing, I mean, you're lucky you got this far in life without that.
Yeah, really.
Because usually that happens a lot earlier. And then you got to have that walk on the beach with your dad.
I've always been a late bloomer.
You know, and he's got the pants rolled up or whatever. And he says, son, I got to tell you about this, the nostril hair, the ear hair. Then the little
just got to get a good stylist, man. That he doesn't have to waste a lot of time with what's on top of my head, so he starts going for the eyebrows, ears,
where there
nose.
is hair.
Yeah, where there actually is
to
some
justify the expense. Otherwise, the 15-second haircut just doesn't seem worth $35.
That's right.
So he's doing that on you.
Yeah, to make sure I keep coming back. So, I got to get something, like you said, for the $35.
We used to run that show. Were you there then, Lloyd? Maybe not. Smooth for Summer. Were you ever there for any of the Smooth for Summer broadcasts?
No.
So my deal is that when you start getting into spring, guys don't really think about it. Swimsuit weather, women do, or a lot do. And I thought, and they're getting freaky on it because, there's a lot of body hair.
Yeah.
And depending on what they're wearing, guys don't really, think twice about it, right? So I used to have these shows where people would start getting that laser hair removal stuff.
Right.
And we would also have waxing and other methods of hair removal. It was all about hair in the conference room. And so once I was there and the woman who was doing different types of hair removal, not the laser stuff, put wax in my nostrils or something like that.
Yeah.
And then pulled it out. Mm-hmm. Not good.
That sounds painful. It sounds painful.
I confess to anything and everything. It was not. I mean, it's not like when my JJ gets a little design.
Yeah, I was wondering if you got a Brazilian or not. Heart-shaped box down there.
No, but I saw some things, Lloyd, you can never forget. Because that was the point. That's how you get in on that show, is you'd have to come up on our regular show and then drop trowel and talk about it so we could all pretend not to wince, and then maybe you'd earn your place into the conference room on Sunday.
Right.
So yeah, maybe you got a couple of nose hair sticking out there, Drew. But imagine if you had, I don't know, a hair apron, and it's April, and your boyfriend's taking you to Cancun or something.
I don't have that problem.
So.
I don't have that problem.
Do you have anything how about you, Lloyd? You get at that time where you get a hair someplace where you never had a hair before?
Yeah. I mean,
like in the middle of your forehead or something?
Yeah, no, not really. Just a couple on my shoulders. See, I don't really have any hair on my back or any of that, fortunately, and I don't have that thing going on. But, I have noticed 2 or 3 on my shoulders where I never had any on my back before. So I'm kind of freaking out about that. I'm, asking my stylist, should I get these laser removed? He's like, no, let me just shave it for you. He pulls my shirt down a little bit and just kind of pops it right off.
Did you give him 10 to keep going?
Oh, yeah. I said, man, you're working it today. shoulder massage. He's like, let me go give you a shampoo. I was like, well, I've only been here about 2 minutes. You might as well. So
What the hell is a shampoo on you, dude?
yeah, it feels good. Nice little scalp massage.
What exactly? Because a lot of times if you find that stray hair on a shoulder, then you're not even paying attention and you get it and it's 6 inches long.
Yeah.
It's like, where the...
I was thinking if I could keep letting it grow out, I could do a comb over the back of my head, just kind of pull it up.
Did that. He had a comb over all the way through from the front to the back. And he would wake up in the morning and it would look like just one big Liberty spike. Because he had gone to bed with all that hairspray in his hair,
God.
It was a big like log of hair in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he would go and take a shower, and then he would spin that thing around on his head. And
There's a craft there. There is a skill.
And it's like, oh boy, that's dedication and denial.
Yes.
Same
I
thing.
like that. Dedication and denial.
Right.
Join hands.
Hey, Drew, what are you going to be doing on September 8th, 2019?
I'm going to be seeing Kiss.
Wow. You already knew the date, huh? You got it down.
Well, I knew, of course he was going to know.
San Antonio, September 8th. They're not coming to Austin yet.
Yep.
They will eventually, maybe like 2021. But we need to drag Lyle's ass out to...
At the end of the 3-year farewell tour. That's okay, man. I'm already there. VIP, Buenos
Why
Aires.
don't you get us some good Kiss tickets, Lloyd? You clearly have the better Kiss avenue than I ever will. You're the program director of KLBJ FM in Austin, Texas.
I mean, to me, the ultimate promotion that Kiss in San Antonio could do. I mean, this is it. This is the epitome of a radio promotion. I mean, Kiss presenting Kiss in San Antonio. Does it get any better than that? I mean, shit. I kind of want to give up my job for a day just to go down there and be back on Kiss again to do that.
Well, this is going to be kind of a cool one. I mean, you never know who's going to hop on stage and play.
Yeah, Ozzy could show up. You never know. He might come back and piss on the Alamo again.
Well, I'm talking about Ace Frehley.
Oh, right. We talked about him on the last podcast.
That's just what the rumors are.
Why would he play San Antonio? Because he's used to playing the clubs there?
No, I mean, I think he...
Man, sorry.
Well, I mean, that was his choice.
Wow, that would be, you know how I'd feel about that, Wow. That's all I can say.
Could be Vinnie Vincent. Could be Vinnie Vincent that comes back on. You remember Vinnie Vincent?
Vinnie Vincent Invasion, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, Invasion. Yeah, it could be him.
I mean, if I could see the 4 original one more time, I would consider that a true end of the road tour. But
Peter could come out and sing Beth.
I mean,
Never know.
You know what he did when they didn't he do that back in '96?
Hey, well, right before that
At the Alamo Dome? I was at that
wait.
show when they got back together that time.
Oh yeah, they toured in '96. On the reunion. I thought you were talking about he had come in. The reason that they reunited is that he had come in and sung Beth at a Kiss convention.
Wow.
With Gene and Paul, and then that kind of started to lead to, some ideas of reuniting. And then in 1996, that's when you saw them in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I can't. You're blowing my head here. I can't even imagine.
I was front row for that show.
I mean, it's so far beyond what I could ever hope for.
It's a good time.
Yeah. All right.
It is. I'm going to take my kid. I want to take my kid.
Because me and the boys will be sleeping all night.
I want to take him, paint his face.
It's 7. It's 7 now.
You start to love. You start
But
to
good,
really
man. I'm
love-
glad you got there. I mean, all this stuff in advance, that's cool. I remember when they announced that Elton John show here a year ago or over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, and now it's finally here. It'll be here in December.
That's going to be a good show.
What show is it?
Elton John.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I wonder if now this would be a good promotion. Maybe I should send this to Gene. Well, he wouldn't do it because it would take money out of his pocket. But I was thinking at the very end when they're doing rock and roll all night and the confetti's blowing out there, it could be a little coupon to stop by the Rock and Brew and get you a burger on the way out.
Well, that's what it should be.
You know?
Actually, that would make sense.
It would make
to have some
money.
Commercial aspect to what's
It would make him money. He does own that.
would be correct, Lloyd. And that would be true to the legacy
Right.
of
Gene Simmons and Kiss.
So did you everyone have a good Thanksgiving, Halloween? I don't know how long it's been since we've been on, man. I really don't. I mean, have we been on?
I think last show we did was on Halloween. And
That's
then
right. I remember Fang Baby.
Right. And then it came out about 4 or 5 days after. It was between Halloween and Election Day. So we've had an election. We were post-Halloween. We know how the election turned out now. We went through Thanksgiving, and here we are now in December. I've got the lights up here in the house. It's very festive. We had a great Thanksgiving here. It was very low-key. It was just me and the family, no in-laws or my family coming in from out of town. So it's kind of low-key. It was actually kind of nice to just do it, with the immediate family for once, because we haven't done that in a long time.
That's good, man. Mine was low-key. I just had everyone here helping me sort my new skin inventory in the garage. So, yeah, my new gig. Anybody listening?
Drew actually is the only one.
Come on.
Drew's the only one who actually did the over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go, all the way to Amarillo.
I took a couple of the kiddos, took the 2 older ones.
You go by Birch Bark Canoe?
For a week. Well, no, we drove through Abilene and
how was that?
Sweetwater. We actually didn't go through Abilene. We go through Sweetwater.
Did you hear the L.A. Lloyd Rock 30 when you were going through there?
I didn't, but we went through Lubbock and
KFMX, home of Wes Nessman in the mornings.
Yeah.
I got all of them down.
They run your show in Lubbock, Lloyd?
They used to. They dropped
Bastards.
it. Yeah, they dropped it. That's okay. That's all right.
And then onward up into, Amarillo, which is really the better of the 2 cities in the Panhandle.
That's saying a lot.
I actually thought that through my trip in August. Though it's kind of I actually thought that Amarillo was better than my time in Lubbock. I'm not saying that neither is.
We're comparing rotten
variety
apples.
vacation land, but
Yeah, which apple smells the least worst?
Well, I'll tell you this: Frank Lloyd Wright built a house in Amarillo.
Was that did Wilbur or Orville get to be a part of it, or was that?
I don't know if they're related or not. I don't
his
know
own thing, or
I mean, he's from Wisconsin.
I know Frank Lloyd Wright. I know all the famous Lloyds.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the guy that did mornings in Lubbock.
Frank Lloyd Wright built a house. He didn't get to finish it yet, but one of his what do you call them? Apprentices did. And so Amarillo is Amarillo and Canyon. You have to be specific about Canyon. Are sort of noted for beautiful sunsets. And at the end of Indiana Jones 3, is that the one with Sean Connery? They ride off into the sunset. And that was filmed in Amarillo.
Wow.
It's known for its sunsets. I don't know if you know that or not.
And then listen, 20 miles south of Amarillo is the second largest canyon in the world.
I remember that scene. I do. I've actually remember seeing Beavis and Butthead at the end of their movie when they finally did a movie. They walk off in the sunset. And I believe that was shot in Amarillo as well.
Mm-hmm. And when you get the scene in the Turkish prison of the hole in the floor that's supposedly the toilet.
Oh boy!
They shoot that in Lubbock.
I'm not contributing. To this.
Hey, did you happen to see the ghost of the Amarillo killer while you were up there? And what was his name?
No.
Johnny Frank Garrett. Who could forget?
Hey, good for you.
Good memory, Lisle. You have not been on the weed.
Come on, baby. Johnny Frank Garrett.
Wow.
Did you look into him? Did you read about him?
No,
I didn't.
Yet,
I'm thinking about it.
I got off on a tangent looking at fast food turkeys.
I'm telling you guys, you'd be fascinated by it.
I am going to be fascinated. That's the reason I remember.
The only YouTube video I looked at on Thanksgiving was how to carve a turkey.
Did you really? Come on.
Oh,
Lloyd.
and it worked perfect. I posted a photo of the turkey and the layout there on Instagram, and I got a lot of comments like, that is a fine carved turkey you did. I said, hey, brushed up today on YouTube.
Lloyd, you had to look on YouTube how to carve a turkey.
Well, see, I have a Christmas ham, and that's a different carving, so I have to look that one up. And so I kind of get confused every year because that ham, that wing gets in the way, and I don't know how to cut through that bone to get that wing off the ham. So I have to go back and forth to make sure I figure it out.
That's when you grab that sucker and you just,
A wing on a ham.
Yeah.
So we have got a big milestone coming up here. If we can, do at least one more podcast before Christmas, because as I was looking through all the podcasts of, Christmas last year, that YOY, as my boss says, the year over year, where you look at the analysis of how you've done from last year to this year. Christmas show last year is still the biggest downloaded podcast we've had. So we got
the first one.
Yeah, we got our work to do.
That was also the first one.
That was the first one after
considerably beyond
5 years from 2012 to 2017. The first one we did was the most downloaded, and it's been all downhill ever since.
Hey, you don't have to say things like that.
Well, I was no
year over year and all that other nonsense.
The Christmas podcast, I actually went back and listened to it again. And it was a good podcast. There was, very good poems that I created. I don't know what you guys did, but I came up with an original poem. So
that probably is what propelled us to that kind of download.
Wait a second. You listened to the podcast. How can you not know what we did?
Because I was paying attention to what I was doing so.
That's what he said. He was just paying attention to what he did.
You guys did, but I had a poem.
I don't know.
You listen to the rest of it. Of course you know what we did.
So we have our work cut out for us to, build upon what we did last year and start off 2019 with, the biggest podcast to end out the year. So we start off on a high note and we end on a high note.
That's why we're giving away a new car.
Yeah.
I announced it right now, guys.
So if you'd like to be a part of the Christmas show, I'd like to throw out that toll-free number there. It's 855-576-2530. That's 855-576-2530. If you've got a special Christmas story to share with Lisle, Drew, and me, L.A. Lloyd. So 855-576-2530. We've got plenty of extra minutes. I haven't ever used them all.
Stop being so honest, dude.
855-576-2530.
I would really love to hear stories about some totally screwed up Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I always love those. And no Hallmark thing. I don't want to hear about the Christmas sweater, the Christmas train.
In the song, it's the most wonderful time of the year, right? From Andy Williams.
The Christmas whatever. I want to hear I like that. That's true too. Or, as always, we welcome your input on anything. So that's okay too.
My sister, she done turned 60 and she got her period back this year. She felt very young. Merry Christmas.
Already we know this one's not going to be a big download winner. It's because of that one right there. Uh-huh.
I don't know if this was done by a high school class or not, but on Netflix, there's a holiday movie, because I was looking for a holiday movie to watch on the plane when I went up to Baltimore about a week or so ago. And I found this movie called Christmas in the Smokies. And it's got all the ingredients of a Hallmark movie, but it was an indie. So it looked like someone had probably grown up in North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere. I definitely think they were from the state, maybe Tennessee, maybe Georgia, definitely the South. But they had taken every nuance from the Andy Griffith Show and a Hallmark Christmas movie and put it into about an hour and a half of my life on that plane that I won't ever get back.
That sounds horrible, dude. I mean, you're talking about a Hallmark-styled movie with less acting ability.
Yes, there was no. I didn't recognize one single actor or actress in the entire movie, but it's good. It's about Christmas in the Smokies.
Did you cry?
I teared up a little bit at the very end when the girl who's pissed off comes from the city back to the country. And then the guy she got dumped for was a country music singer who left her, and then he had a huge career, but he'd got mental block. He couldn't come up with any new material, so he comes back to the Smokies, and boy, she makes him sleep out in the barn because he fucked her over. And while he's out there amongst the animals, he gets inspired, and he starts writing all these hit songs. But unfortunately, the old man didn't pay the bills, and they were about to foreclose on the farm. So they had to have a concert for all the locals to come out and support this country singer to play his new music and save the farm. And there you go. That's pretty much the movie.
Of course, it was a tremendous success.
Oh, yeah. Huge success. Huge
Is this
success.
on Hallmark?
No, it's not even Hallmark.
No, it was a Hallmark-style independent film.
Right.
That Lloyd decided to download to occupy himself on his flight to Baltimore recently.
Christmas in the Smokies. Check it out. It came out about 2015.
No, don't do that.
I bet the ladies want to sit next to you on the plane.
No, they probably loved it.
They
I'm
did.
telling you, these chicks, that's a big thing right now. It's binge watching Hallmark for all these formula Christmas movies.
That's a guy I want to get with.
Yeah, I mean, they probably were all, I could see them like 20 chicks gathered around you.
Yeah. Kind of behind my seat. And then all of a sudden, the one beside me hands me a tissue as she sees a little tear come right out the corner of my eye when they get together at the end and start kissing.
Because then they know how sensitive you
That's
are.
how some guys get them.
Yeah.
Right. So are you going to peel off and start doing your own little podcast? It's, like the Notebook kind of thing.
Yeah, I could.
Hallmark movie reviews on a podcast.
Yeah, I like that Hallmark movie reviews.
We're going to start off this week with Christmas in the Smokies.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like a Nicholas Sparks thing, but that's okay. That's fine. I like the Hallmark movie review.
Yeah. So
something that there you are. You're the big fuzzy.
Hey, look, I'm telling you, man, our big Christmas podcast was the biggest of the year. I think I'm on to something.
Why don't we do...
Because of your poem?
Yeah, because of my poem.
All three of us do the Hallmark movie review, and we just watch a movie on Hallmark.
Yeah.
I can't do it, dude.
Come on, man.
I'll bring over a big tin of popcorn, and, we could...
Yes, you can. You can do it. No, I really don't want to watch that.
You know what we could do? We could watch it on the computer while we're doing the podcast. It'll be like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, there we go. And we're commenting audio-wise on things that people can't see but hear. See, I like that. I used to love running movie trailers.
No, but then they can watch the movie while we're watching the movie.
And it's all synced to Dark Side of the Moon.
They could use VR.
Well, I was searching for the Waltons Christmas, but I couldn't find that, so I had to settle for Christmas in the Smokies.
You got it bad, Lloyd.
Rough.
I mean,
I
can't sit through those.
Oh, they're the best. I love it.
Like everybody loves Love Actually.
Yeah,
as a Christmas movie.
That's a good movie.
I can't even deal with
but the thing about it is, I haven't seen any live action Broadway or movies that are coming up. And I'll definitely be talking about those because they're going to start coming sooner or later. I'm waiting for them to do a Grinch live. That'll be the next one since they've done another remake of the Grinch. They might as well do a Grinch live thing on NBC there.
So, since we've spoken, I mean, Megyn Kelly lost her slot on Today. How did that impact your life?
I kind of like Megyn Kelly better as a, pop culture kind of person than a Fox News reporter. I always thought she was, she's pretty easy on the eyes. And, I thought that she had some journalistic integrity for whatever that's worth on the Fox News channel. But when she went over to do more of the pop culture thing, I was like, all right.
I think you can get comfortable, and say lots of stupid things about lots of different things if you're not careful when you're on television.
I got you. I mean, just ask Alexa over here. She'll tell you. She hears me comfortable saying a lot of stupid things.
Right.
All
just
the time.
listen to this podcast.
I had to pause just for a moment thinking, please be soundproof enough that you just didn't turn on.
Alexa, what's Lisle thinking right now?
It doesn't matter anyhow. It was a stupid move on their part in the first place. And then the Sunday night program didn't work, and they shoved her on the Today thing, which I'm not even up to. And, but all I know is that there's a part of me that says, I'm glad that ride's over for a while, but that's okay. And then Lloyd, of course, had to bring, the usual, somebody he wants to screw into the whole equation.
Yeah.
My God.
Incorporate a bath.
She's got a man.
He's always thinking through that ET finger. That's his deal. I was just being stupid, man. I just had to just throw that out there. We hadn't been there in a long time, and I was trying to give a nod to would that be pop culture?
Well,
Megyn Kelly, is that pop culture?
I think they tried to put an intelligent side to it, so you're not watching Entertainment Tonight, because again, she probably wants to keep her journalistic integrity. But when you're reporting about, Ye and the Kardashians, you fucking blew it. You're out,
Well, let's never go there.
El Arroyo is a little Mexican restaurant in Austin. It always has these not famous, but funny slogans on their sign every day. Drew, you can attest, right?
Yeah.
Today's was, how does Kanye like his eggs? And it's over easy.
Over easy.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Hey, man, I'm glad you got that one out this time instead of on the huge Christmas podcast thingy.
See, I'm already thinking about my new poem because I've already used Christmas Vacation and Cousin Eddie last year, so I gotta come up with something new. I may go with the elf route this year, so I may have to go that route, or I don't know.
Well, I'll be offering up interpretive dance. I know it doesn't really translate well to the podcast, but I'll move a lot better if it's on the podcast.
If you could maybe post some video, Drew can upload that on the website at beaverkoolaid.com if you haven't checked that out, and subscribe to the podcast at beaverkoolaid.com.
That would be my interpretive dance.
Right.
Yeah.
I tell you who's doing a lot of dancing right now. I know that was kind of a corny segue, but our good friends there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, are excited because, Mack is back. Mack Brown, the new head coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. And North Carolina is going to become a football school instead of a basketball school.
But wasn't he there before he came?
Yeah, he was there before.
That's where he got his...
And he had the program kind of humming along, and then he ditched him and went over to Texas. And, of course, we all know about that. But now he's back, and I'm saying that's just terrific. What is he, 67 or so, 68? Great. I saw that, and I thought maybe I'll get my job back at KISS when I'm 67, 68.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They could happen. Or you could... Here's what I'm thinking. I might follow Mack's tracks, if you will, after the kids are out of college and school and everything. I go back, I convince someone there in Raleigh to bring WQDR back. And by that time, I should be in my 60s. John, you'll be a couple years older. And we bring back John Lisle, but instead of at night, you'll be the morning guy on the new WQDR, where it all started in Raleigh, North Carolina. What do you think? Lisle is back.
Come back to where it all began.
Right. So everyone's going back.
I just want to be able to, gig right here.
All of a sudden, this is starting to sound like Hallmark radio because,
I don't want to be Mack Brown.
Who says you can't go home?
There's a guy that Lloyd and I used to work with. His name is Steve. And Steve ended up buying his own radio station.
Yeah, that's right.
And he runs it, great. And it's in a small market, but he's having a ball, and I'm jealous of him. I want to have my own little radio station, some small little town.
I own CB Channel 7. But yeah, it'd be cool in the right place.
I own www.
I've always said, back in the day when I first got into radio, it's like, one day I'm going to own a radio station, Which would be kind of cool. Look, they've got translators going in North Carolina now for about 25 to 30 grand. So, I mean, you can get the frequency. It really wouldn't take that much.
If you had the collateral on the credit or whatever you have to go in.
I mean, I think it would pay for itself in a couple of years. You'd probably be selling ads for about $3 a pop, but Yeah.
Well, explain to people what a translator is.
A translator is a low watt, about 250 watt maximum FM channel that's out there that most AM stations use to get their AM signal simulcasted on FM.
That's kind of a new thing.
Right. So it's, they're out there. Like in Austin, for example, KLBJ AM, our sister station, actually has a translator on 99.7 FM, and they can kind of cover most of the downtown area in the metro of Austin. So I would do it if I could afford one. I mean, why not? But, you still have to adhere to all the FCC rules. You can't go on there and, do what we do here on Beaver Kool-Aid. We couldn't.
God forbid.
We couldn't drop the F-bomb there.
But you could buy an AM and with a translator, and,
right?
And have a decent go at it.
I would do
have
it.
Hallmark radio, which I think would be great, and you could run Lloyd's syndicated Hallmark movie review show.
I mean, I know you're living very frugal off your retirement, but
that would be.
You should.
I don't know. I hope you're talking to someone other than me, pal.
You should take some of that money and go out there and buy you a little translator, Lisle, and just do it on your own. You've got land all over the country. You got money stashed under the mattresses.
We've already kind of established how we would do it.
Yeah,
we would make all the money off of Lloyd's Hallmark review podcast.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds all right, but to me, it sounds like yesterday. So I like being on as you all, both of you know, I like being right here on the cutting edge of whatever's going on. Yeah, that's all I said. Hey, man, you know what? Screw it all. I'm moving to Amarillo.
Hell yeah.
I heard they have beautiful sunsets there.
Right.
I do.
And since I'm heading in that direction, might as well enjoy my time in Amarillo.
All right, my friends.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Definitely a while. But I think that we're just getting started, kind of flowing again. We're reacquainting ourselves with one another, and then coming up, baby.
The real gold.
The Christmas show.
The Christmas show. With L.A. Lloyd haiku. Holiday haiku.
So you're gonna do a review and a poem.
Right.
Wow.
I really want you to do this, dude. I don't slack off. I want the poem and the movie review.
All right. I'll give you one.
All right.
I mean, I gave you a movie review of Christmas in the Smokies. I mean, I whipped that one out just like I'm pulling my yank out, you know.
But I want
that was more a synopsis than a review.
I want you to watch exactly. I want you to watch a Hallmark holiday Christmas movie.
You'll know it because it starts out with the word Christmas.
Right.
Christmas blank.
Christmas in the Smokies. See, they knew the formula, and they weren't even Hallmark.
Christmas Little Smokies.
We could do Lil John goes visit Lil Mack in the Carolina Smokies.
We love you all. Thanks for putting up with our nonsense.
Yeah. Lil Lisle. You already your name is almost like Lil anyway. You're like
I know.
Lil Lisle.
L.A. Lloyd, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Bennett,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
I'm a little smoky.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really? Beaver Kool-Aid
Get it hard.
with Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Make it like a man.
So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.